Hi, this is Todd with a 5 to 7 minute overview of our new corporate deck. So take a listen and give me or James Reisman some feedback. First of all, PubNub is all about making real-time possible, allowing you to build real-time applications and real-time experiences very easily, quickly, and scalably. And before we even go into PubNub, let's talk about what that actually means. Well, historically, when you go online, most of our experiences have been generally solitary. You go to NewYorkTimes.com and you don't actually realize there's 20,000 other people looking at the same article that you are. That's been our experience until recently, but over the last 5 years, more and more of what we do online, whether it's mobile apps or devices or looking at desktop screens and readouts, more of that's been connected to real-time data. So things like War Dragons for multiplayer games, negotiating with vendors on new real-time chat on eBay, basically turning on lights and controlling devices with Logitech or Nest, tracking taxis on a map, Snapchat, Slack. All of those experiences are what I would call real-time applications. They basically allow us to connect with people in real time, to control devices, and to see real-time updates. Now, prior to real-time technology, your application might refresh every 15 minutes or you'd press a reload button to see new data, but those are not the experiences people are trying to build anymore. In fact, if you step back and you look, over the last 5 years, almost every hot trend, every unicorn company has actually been enabled by real-time technology. It's that real-time experience that ties together everything from the new dating apps to connected cars to smart home products to delivery and dispatch like Ubers and Just Eats and all of those different kinds of products. Now, as these products have become more mission critical across, as I mentioned, collaboration, device control, real-time updates and triggers, we're finding in the industry that there's 4 big things missing. People don't really know what APIs and services they need to build these real-time apps. They don't know how to enable high levels of reliability, high levels of scale, and also security is becoming more important as you look at IoT hacks, Slack chat kinds of secure information going across those kinds of applications. People want to make sure that what they're building are secure. And that's where PubNub fits in. PubNub is a real-time infrastructure as a service. We provide rich APIs so that no matter what kind of real-time experience you're building, whether it's IoT, collaboration, whether it's real-time updates or anything related to those 3, PubNub can power those kinds of applications. We're deployed around the world in a global network, and that way we can offer 5 nines reliability and as a managed infrastructure, unlimited scalability across millions of devices. In fact, 7% of all the world's IP addresses talk to the PubNub network every single day. And out of the box, it comes with multiple layers of encryption and security so that whatever you build on PubNub will be inherently more secure than anything you could build on your own. All this infrastructure together we call the PubNub Data Stream Network. Now already thousands of customers are using PubNub around the world across so many different categories of real-time applications. Everything from Logitech and Ericsson and August Locks in the IoT space to social and entertainment applications from multiplayer games to tracking your family with Life 360. Many of Uber's competitors and Slack's competitors use PubNub, chat applications, audience participation. And because we're HIPAA compliant, we're seeing a growing number of healthcare companies build real-time IoT and collaboration applications using PubNub. PubNub operates at a scale that can handle any of today's real-time application uses. We've peaked at over 2 trillion transactions a month, delivering quarter-second latency around the world. And offering 5 nines SLAs, that actually means that if we're down for more than 26 seconds a month, we give credits to our customers. No one else has anywhere near that kind of guaranteed service level agreement. We deploy across many, many points of presence, over 15 around the world, which allows people to have a consistent experience regardless of where they are globally. So any application that you build will work pretty much the same way, no matter where the end users or the end devices end up being. PubNub is actually comprised of a number of different services that developers use to build our product. It starts with PubSub messaging, meaning that you can publish a message. It could be a chat message like, "Hey Bob," or it could be a turn on light message into our network. And we ensure that in under a quarter of a second, any number of devices subscribed to that channel of data will receive it in a quarter second or less. In fact, if you're close to one of our data centers, it can sometimes be in under 30 milliseconds. Now, with that global communication publish subscribe system, we layer on other services that developers used to make their real-time experiences better. So storage and playback lets people retrieve information that was published in the past. That's used from everything from chat history to being able to look for an IoT device for firmware updates that may have been published in the past. PubNub Presence allows people to see who's online when and be notified instantly when they go offline. Think of it like that green dot in Skype that turns gray when a person logs off, but also useful for IoT applications and many other use cases. PubNub Stream Controller lets you combine together multiple streams of data and have them delivered to a single application in this same low latency real-time way. And PubNub Functions allows people to actually do compute at the edge. That means that you can filter route messages differently, do business logic in the network before it gets into the data center. And talking about getting into the data center, PubNub offers a number of gateways. So whether you want messages to automatically route to generate an Apple push notification or a Android push notification, or talk to many different cloud gateways to stream data down into them or back out the other way into our network, as well as a blocks catalog that provides other gateways and other pre-built functionality that you can clone and use for your own applications. Overall, PubNub's found that these collection of services become the core building blocks for any kind of real-time application. And these building blocks are wrapped with a core set of analytics and dashboards to see what's happening in the network, and wrapped with security, access control, and various levels of compliance. So whether you're building HIPAA-compliant applications or whether you're building applications that need to be running only in Europe for data privacy concerns, all of those things are controlled by the PubNub network. In fact, talking about security, there's 4 layers that are important. First of all, right out of the box, PubNub offers different kinds of encryption, both TLS point-to-point and end-to-end encryption with inbuilt AES libraries. That also doesn't prevent you from using any of your own libraries as well. PubNub also offers fine-grained access control, so for every single channel of data, you can have different access privileges, which also allows you to do things like syndicate your data to business partners. Attack prevention, so for IoT devices, if you scan that IoT device talking PubNub, it doesn't even look like the device is there, and yet we have a secure tunnel to give you that quarter-second device control latency. And as I mentioned earlier, there's a host of legislative security concerns that most people don't think about when they're building real-time applications. PubNub covers the vast majority, if not all of them. So whether it's the myriad of European data privacy laws, whether it's HIPAA compliance, being SOC compliant, many of these things are already part of PubNub, and you get simply by using our infrastructure to build your real-time application. So we talked earlier about the 3 major kinds of use cases: chat and collaboration, real-time updates, and device control. With chat and collaboration, there's everything from one-to-one customer support chat to Slack types of experiences with large chat rooms, as well as in-app chat for things like dating apps and games. All of those types of chat can be built on PubNub and are being used by some of the biggest names in the industry, from collaboration inside DocuSign, chat within eBay, in Yelp, multiplayer games and Pocket Gems, and many other. There's a host of chat use cases that are great for PubNub. Think about real-time updates in a broad way, whether it's tracking taxis on a map, or seeing real-time updates for prices in an auction environment, or seeing live sports scores in a live sporting event. PubNub provides real-time data around anything you want, so geolocation of devices and people, sports scores, anything else can be published in the network and then received by millions of devices simultaneously in under a quarter of a second. And finally, for IoT device control, as I mentioned earlier, the ability to have a dedicated secure socket connection to these devices and then publish and subscribe data at any scale and low latency now is being used by some of the largest names in the industry, from Samsung to Logitech and many other smart home products as well. So overall, PubNub is the best global infrastructure for real-time applications. That's because it runs in our global data stream network that allows anyone to build any kind of real-time application in a secure, scalable, and cost-effective way. Thanks a lot.